Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Dmitry Medvedev, the former president of the Russian Federation, tells NATO and the Americans what Russia will do if the Americans, in this case through Germany, deliver Patriot missile systems to Ukraine. And there are two things that are very important in this article that I will be reading. And the first one is the Western coalition will send Patriot systems to Ukraine. I almost have no doubt about that. That's one thing. And the other one, that those systems will be operated by NATO personnel, not by Ukrainians. And I will make my case after I read the article. Alright, so this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. It is from the 29th of November 2022. This is the title. Medvedev threatens to strike Patriot air defense systems if they are shipped to Ukraine. And I was like, well, what's new? I mean, right? They said they will hit the HIMARS and everything else that's delivered there, right? But when I read the title, I was like, so. But then I read a little bit the article. I found out that actually it's not only that they're going to hit the Patriot systems. They're going to hit the Patriot systems that would be operated by NATO personnel if Dmitry Medvedev, deputy head of the Security Council of the Russian Federation, has threatened that if Patriot anti-ballistic missile systems are shipped to Ukraine, they will become a legal target for the Russian invaders. And I thought, okay. Quote from Medvedev: if, as Stoltenberg hinted, NATO supplies Patriot systems along with NATO personnel to the Kiev fanatics, they will become a legal target for our armed forces right away. Medvedev has also stated that a civilized world does not need NATO. According to him, the alliance has to repent and be dissolved. On Monday, 28 November, Polish Prime Minister once again urged Germany to provide Ukraine with Patriot anti-ballistic missile systems that Berlin had offered to ship to Warsaw after the incident in the village of after a Ukrainian S-300 missile was launched from Ukraine and landed in a village in Poland. We don't know if that was intentional or it was just a mistake. So you can also claim now that you want Patriot missiles. After the incident in the village of blah blah blah, as Kiev needs them more. The US is considering the possibility of sending Patriot anti-ballistic missiles systems to Ukraine in order to support air defense against Russian attacks. I read another article earlier, and that came from, I can remember, there was an Ukrainian official who stated that, I don't think it was Ignat, who stated that the Ukrainians are very capable of learning how to operate the Patriot systems because that's basically just it's an automatic thing. It's just they do it without personnel. You don't even need humans. You can put a monkey over there and the monkey just have to pick his nose and the Patriot missiles will just function as well as a human being in charge, especially a Ukrainian. So I was like, that got me with, a memory back when the retired U.S. military colonel Douglas McGregor stated in one of his podcasts about 2 months ago. He said, well, those HIMARS systems that were sent to Ukraine are not operated by Ukrainians. He said, those are operated by NATO contractors, he said. He said, I can't give you more information. I said, oh yeah, okay, you can, but... And he gave a reason why. He said, it's not that easy to operate those missile systems. He said the driver, whomever is over there in charge of all that, has to, just to prepare the systems, it needs to accomplish about, or be able to figure out about 1,200 tasks before it's ready. So he said he needs to figure those things out. He said that cannot be achieved by training some Ukrainians or anybody in about 2 weeks or 2 weekends or whatever he said. And I believed him because I'm not an idiot. And idiots have information, and idiots do some research and get information from other sources, and I urge you to do the same and find out how easy it is to do that. Now, the Patriot systems are not much different in their operation. I'm assuming that's a lot of things that are automated, computerized, but still there should be someone that's gonna turn it on and off, click click. As a monkey, I don't believe that's the only thing that I have to do. And just the fact that Ukrainian official had to emphasize that the Ukrainians could be easily trained, I was like, oh, okay, you want to cover your ass. Actually, I think it's going to be the NATO, United States, or whomever is going to be there, the Germans. Someone else is going to operate those. And I said, well, who knows, but they're talking about it. So if they're talking about it, that's most likely they're going to be delivered. Now, today I read this article from Medvedev saying the same thing. If those will be over there with personnel, NATO personnel, we're going to blow it up, and I'm pretty sure they will, and they will not give a fuck. I had another how do you call it, article today where they say the same thing. Well, in case that the Patriot will be delivered, they will blow it up. I said, okay, well, what's the whole thing? I mean, we know that these guys are going to deliver it. That's the thing. They will be delivered with personnel. Another article said, a Russian, I can't remember who said this, said that I can't remember who that was. He said that this increase in help, and I said, what help? Military help to Ukraine will get the risk of direct confrontation between NATO and Russia. And I was like, what do you mean? It was all like one after another that built it to Medvedev saying that if NATO personnel is over there, we're going to blow it up. Oh, okay, so all those little hints here and there, they were talking camouflaged that, guys, you talk about sending Patriot, that's going to be operated, we know, by NATO personnel, and we're going to blow it up. Basically, that's the whole message. And it was a NATO summit in Bucharest, in Romania, and they made a lot of statements over there. And one of the statements, Stoltenberg, the chief of, the spokesperson of NATO actually, states, according to Ukraine Forum, NATO, and I'm quoting this article from, again, today, 29th, I know that the summit is, 29 and 30th of November. So he says here, Stoltenberg, NATO mulling transfer of Patriot systems to Ukraine. So NATO allies reaffirmed their readiness to provide Ukraine with further military assistance, in particular modern air defense systems, including Patriot systems. But while discussions about these systems are ongoing, NATO is focusing on supplying on blah 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 blah. So there's too much smoke coming out, and it means there's a big fire somewhere. And the big fire is NATO decided already to send those Patriot systems with personnel, and the Russians said, we're gonna fuck it up, and then you're gonna be crying and so on. But it seems like the Patriot systems are invisible, like the HIMARS. According to NATO, to Americans, 0 HIMARS systems was blown up by the Russians. I find that impossible, or 99.9% impossible. The Russians said that they blew up more than 10, and I think that's 50-50. I would give it more chance that the Russians blew up HIMARS systems than 0. Okay, why? because you see, when you can see something and you can hear something and you can see it over the radar, radar, yes, radar, yeah, and then I'm confused because I'm thinking of radar of the police radars. So that's the systems, and you can see it from the satellite, and they make a lot of noise, and they send missiles that could be ballistically followed and all that. It's almost impossible to not be able to find their location. But they say, well, we go and shoot from here and then get the tent of the circus ready and move immediately to another position, and then again we set the tent again, boop, we fire a few, and then boop. They don't have time, we're so fast. Well, I urge you to see how fast that is. It's not like a minute, but anyway, even if it's not a minute, once they get you, they follow you. You know what I mean? And when you stop again, you don't even have to stop. They send 2 or 3 or 5 drones or something, and they're gonna fuck you up. So that's why it's, please. And they're not too far from the contact line anyway, because supposedly these guys cannot shoot further than 50 miles or 50 kilometers. So that means they're very close, right? So they have to be at least around 10 kilometers from the front line. That means 10 in. You can send a drone and other stuff to figure out where that thing is, and you just go from look from a satellite. I mean, come on, it's tard. Anyway, Medvedev, and I believe Medvedev, because every time this guy said something like, hey, if you do this, I'm going to do this, that happened. And last time when he said something, it was about the Kerch Bridge, the Crimea Bridge. He said, if you guys attack that and you blow it, we're going to just attack your infrastructure, we're going to attack you, you will not have any place to hide. And that happened. That's the last example. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure these guys are going to send the Patriot systems. What do you have to lose? Nothing. For them, well, for a few people, it means nothing to them. And as I said before, they will not let the Patriot system be operated by Ukrainians, because the Ukrainians will sell it. And if they not sell it, some other people will take it. So that's always this risk of black market and corrupt Ukrainians that will make a lot of money selling a Patriot system to, I don't know, Iran or China or other people who would like to take a look at it. And must be operated by the Americans or whomever is in charge of those, not the Ukrainians. Too important piece of weaponry. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.